It is National Thoughtful Day here at the Cabin Fever Studios, and I know we just lost all kinds of stuff right as we were going on. We heard this big, loud kablam. You can probably hear it right now. We've been, for the last several days, dealing with getting a new roof here at our house, our new home that Jody and I just moved into, and we were just... As we were getting ready to go on the air, they came back from lunch, and so so all throughout the show today, you're going to be hearing air hammers and people on the roof and all kinds of stuff. And the funny part about it is we recorded a bunch of shows earlier in the week where they were doing the same thing. So this will be something that's going to be with us here on the show for the next several weeks as we move into bigger and greater things. So anyway, welcome everybody to the podcast. And as you can probably tell as you were coming on today, there's some changes afoot in the air. And before I get to that, though, let's get out there and let's make this day happen. And guys, I need my computer on. All right, so. All right, so we got a great show planned for you today. On the show today, I've got Alan Asp, who is the author of the show, of the book entitled The Jewish Secret, and he's going to come on and talk to us about how he went from being somebody that was $300,000 in debt into somebody who's now a trader and sought after as a speaker and somebody who coaches and gives people advice. And man, there's just so much that we can. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I'll be reading his bio for you here in just a few minutes. But anyway, let's head over to the tech desk where Jody and Luke are sitting in today. And I wish I could just turn the camera upwards and you could see the crew of roofers that are here today.
Yeah. We can't see them. Thank
we
God.
can hear them though.
But I keep thinking they're gonna fall through.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they're right. It's like they waited till this Friday show to be working right over top of us. So actually, we got to be truthful. That's our neighbor that lives above us who hates the fact that we're doing the show. And you kids knocking off down there. So
that's what they're saying, the neighbor.
So as I said when I led in today is National Thoughtful Day. It is a day where I guess that you're just supposed to practice being thoughtful.
Yes. You got to be thoughtful. Think of others.
I do all the time.
Yeah.
Is that all it is? Is that what?
Just doing something for someone, and
awesome.
Think of them, and
That's what the holiday's all about.
Yeah.
I guess holiday's not the right word, but anyway.
Yeah. Right. It's a day.
National Thoughtful Day. All right, what else is going on today?
Today is also National Power Rangers Day.
Oh, okay.
It's morphin' time!
It is.
I grew up on that.
Yeah.
I remember being a little kid.
Power Rangers. So, basically, it says to just go ahead and, in order to celebrate it, watch your favorite episode.
Wow.
Take a break. Watch your favorite episode.
There were so many different Power Rangers series too.
Yeah.
I guess that the success of the first one was so huge they had to just keep going with it.
Yeah.
It's like anything else. You have the original, then you have the 2.0 and the 7.0.
I guess as a martial artist, that's a career you can aspire to. I want to be a Power Ranger one day, right? Just be the guy in the suit.
I wanted to be Darth Vader when I was a kid.
Well,
so
yeah.
I guess
and
it's
I wanted to be
entirely
Princess
possible.
Leia.
Everybody did, right?
I mean, you came as close as you could, man.
I did, and I'm going to tell you that story. One day I went and tried out to be Darth Vader, and I was for a day. I was Darth Vader for a day for Star Wars weekends over at Hollywood Studios, and I can't say that. I was very good friends with Darth Vader for a day. And it was a really cool experience to wear that. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. All right, let's move on. What else is going on? Today is Bow Tie Day.
Bow Tie Day, yeah.
And that's they've made a comeback.
You guys are missing out.
I don't know anybody that knows how to tie a bow tie. I don't know a single person.
I think Darnell does.
Really? Okay.
Darnell's our tech kind of director at the church, and I think he knows how to tie a bow tie. In fact, I think I think he knows how to tie a regular tie into a bow tie.
Oh, really?
There's this way to do it. I don't know how.
Interesting.
All right. So and cherries have been having a great month this
They
month.
have. They really have.
We had was it Cherry Popsicle Day the other day,
Yes.
and today, and we learned that there is something called Red 40
Yes. Yeah.
that I guess Luke is allergic
Yeah.
to or something.
No, it just
No,
makes,
no,
makes
it's
little
just
kids
normal.
bounce off
Bounce
the
off the wall,
Yeah.
yeah. Is that what the colors are behind you there? Is that Red 40?
Probably.
It is.
Yeah. That's
It
probably.
is.
Today is National Cherry Turnover Day,
Yes.
so McDonald's is going to blow up,
Yeah.
and I mean
yeah.
with business, not in
yeah,
a bad way.
yeah. Let's not say that.
Everybody head to McDonald's and grab you one of those cherry turnovers. The Hostess ones are okay, but
Yeah. they're
the
all right.
old McDonald's ones are the best.
See, but like artificial cherry flavor never doesn't taste like cherries
Well, no, not at all.
at all.
Fair enough.
Like so, I guess is it supposed to taste like a maraschino cherry?
I think they just say,
It's red. It just tastes like red.
I think, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just red, yeah. All right, what else is today? Today is...
National Red Wine Day for those that like their red wine.
Some people don't need an excuse.
True.
It is every day.
It is true. It is
National
true.
Red Wine Day every day
Right.
for some folks.
And then the last one, the last one is Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day.
Is that the Bifrost, like from Thor, or is that what we're talking about, Rainbow Bridge?
No.
What is that
No,
then? I don't know
Rainbow
what's-
Bridge is for pets that have passed on in your life.
Aww.
Your pet is gone.
We're all like
over the
depressed
Rainbow
now,
Bridge.
Jody.
Sorry.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder.
Sorry. So,
Man.
we know people have lost their
Yeah,
pets.
we do.
We all have lost pets.
So today is the day we
I guess
celebrate what?
Rosie.
Oh,
Celebrate
Our
their
dog.
life.
now I can't go on. Great.
Aw.
All right, let's.
That's
All right, here's something that's a little bit funny. Chipotle, we all like to eat there. It's a good place. Chipotle had this IQ trivia game that they thought, you have to score a certain amount of points on it, and you could win a free burrito or something like that. And what they weren't expecting is that people are going to cheat, I guess, or whatever. This IQ trivia game, in just like an hour or so, had 250,000 people hit them up with the correct answers,
Oh wow.
and they had to give away free burritos.
Ooh.
So if you'd like to,
Interesting.
if you want to see if you can do it, go to ChipotleIQ.com.
interesting.
And
Wow. Just thought I'd do that one since you didn't.
that was pretty good, Joe.
Thanks.
Yeah, you did sound like it.
Yeah. Yeah, she's turned into little Owen Wilson over there. All right. All right, a couple more things. I did see where Lego, did we already talk about this? Lego is launching a Braille brick.
No, that's cool.
No.
Lego is having a whole series of
That's
bricks for
awesome.
blind folks so that they can feel more than just the studs and the,
Yeah.
they can feel what color it is by the writing on the side.
cool.
So that's pretty cool.
so cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's
So I wonder if Legoland will have a section for that. That'd be good.
that's actually a really good idea.
Yes, Legoland. Another one of our
Regular places
Yeah,
we go to
exactly.
frequently. So
yeah.
anyway, that's cool. That's cool. And
That
so
is super cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Luke was talking about they've started. We mentioned it a few weeks ago on the program. There's something here in Orlando for all you local folks called Magical Dining, where there's several restaurants that are participating, where you can get a lot of high quality, and it's not just the cheap places; it's the good, expensive places. And it starts today.
Yep.
The startup.
And it's for a good cause too.
yeah. What's the good cause?
It's a charity. They do it every year. It's for a different charity, but I can't remember. Let's see, what is it? It's for Feed the Need, Florida.
So you get good discounted meals, and the proceeds go to help a charity here in town. So if you'd like to get out there, Orlando folks, get out there and do it. Go tell me what your favorite restaurant is that you're going to use this at, and how that worked out for you. I want to address something real quick before we get to our guest. If you noticed when you were coming on the program, or if you follow us on social media, or any of the other platforms that we're on, the name of the podcast has finally gone through the change. We've been saying it for several weeks that we were going to change, actually months now, that we were going to be changing the name, and it's not because we didn't like Cabin Fever.
Right.
But Cabin Fever is actually the name of several other podcasts that have the same name. And because we really started it in the middle of quarantining, and we know people were kind of shut in, locked up, that kind of thing. And so, this was something to kind of just be a break from that. The response from you folks have really helped us to expand what the podcast is. And so we sat down with a branding and marketing specialist who's going to be a guest on the program, Lauren Wiseman, who's been a studio musician in Hollywood, and was involved in the American Idol success at the very beginning. He's got a great book called How to Be a Success in the Music Business. He and I sat down and we started talking about, really, what do you want to accomplish with this podcast? What are you doing? And, we really kind of came down to what we're trying to help people do is we want them to have good news in their life, but not just good news. We want them to be able to find what they're looking for. And we came up with several different points of that. I know you don't like that, but you're going to get the roofers didn't like that. Anyway, so we came up with several different versions of it. And so the new name for the podcast going forward is going to be called Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. And I know some people are like, wow, that's a mouthful. It is, but it really captures the heart of what we're trying to do. We're trying to help people that are looking for information and things that they're in a search for things in their life. And we want them to stop here while they're looking. Because our guests that we have on all the time are such great guests who do such an amazing job bringing forth some of the most incredible information. And so that's why we're changing the name of the podcast. And today is the first day we've actually kind of leaned in on it. And it's Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. So here's what we're going to do. Throw the logo back up there, Jody. And I'm going to start just from that again. So just go up there. All right, there it is. All right, and go. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. I'm Brent Bailey, your host, and it's going to be a great day today. My guest today is one of the most incredible authors that you're going to ever hear or read. He is an author of the book entitled The Jewish Secret. He is a publisher, an entrepreneur, a real estate investor, a stock investor, life coach, business consultant, business owner, father, and husband. He teaches 12 lessons in his book that he learned from being over $300,000 in debt to leaving a legacy for his children. He's a world traveler. He's a world speaker. He's sought after by traders around the world with his knowledge of different trading systems. I want you to welcome to the program today our good friend, Alan Asp. Alan, how are you? Good to have you on the show today.
Fantastic, but I'm going to get better.
It's been a while. I haven't seen you for a while. How you been?
Oh, it's been good. We got a little worried there after that COVID scare, and we came back from Maui, and basically we had to shut our business down for about 6 weeks, and it was kind of scary. Everything kind of like all fell apart. I don't usually get worried because my faith is in God. I don't have fear. I have faith in God. And I'm like, God, like, what's going on here? And I said, everything's going apart. I might as well start giving. And so when I got back, I just started writing checks out to everyone, even though one of my main businesses were closed during the crisis. And
wow,
it paid off.
All right, so let me just that could get right past some folks. You started giving in the middle of a really hard time, which is the absolute opposite of what a lot of folks think.
It was so bad. I had one business that was doing approximately at one time was doing like $5,000 a week, and it was under $2,000. And I said, the ship is going down. I'm going to go ahead and give $1,000 from that company. I got 4 companies that give $1,000 from each one. So I started out with the first one, and we were doing about $1,800 a week, and then all of a sudden it went up to about $4,000 a week, then $5,000, and I'm like, now we're like back to even. And I said, I'm going to give another $1,000. and then we went up to 7,000. Then I gave another 1,000, then went up to 10,000, and this week we're going to do over 20,000. So that's just one business. It's just I found it's amazing because it's counterintuitive to the thought. When I was $335,000 in debt, I gave $1,000 a month, and I was losing $1,000 a month. That means that my income was $3,000 a month. My bills were $4,000. And I talked to a friend of mine, Mike Murdoch, and he says, you know what? If you want to be a millionaire, you got to give $1,000 a month. I said, you don't get it. I'm losing $1,000 a month. He says, no, you don't get it. If you give $1,000 a month, and you let God use that toward in investing in God's kingdom, that it'll turn around and you'll get 10 times on your return. So that's kind of where my change all started there, is in giving when I had no money. Literally had no money.
My goodness, folks, this is Alan Aspen. As you can tell, wow, what a testimony to start off this interview right in the middle of the hardest time. He gave his way right out of it. And I heard somebody say one time that if you'll get addicted to giving, God will support your habit. And you're a living example of that right now.
It works.
It works. So let's talk about your book real quick. The Jewish Secret. It's available on Amazon. I think they're going to try and throw a picture of it up there, so if folks would like to go and get a copy of it. If you could, give us a little bit behind the scenes. We don't want to, give everything away because we want folks to buy the book, but give us a little bit of there's 12 lessons that you learned in there. Can you give us a nutshell of one of them?
The biggest nutshell is that I learned in the Jewish faith, there's 2 sins. The first sin is to go ahead and be poor, and the second sin is to go ahead and eat pork. So it's kind of an analogy. They say, no po, no poke. And I was like, how can you control being poor? I said, I don't get, why is it a sin to be poor? And they said, because you're a taker, you're not a giver. And wow. I'm like, wow, that just changed my whole philosophy of life. I was taken from everyone. I was taken from MasterCard, Visa, Discover, and American Express. And then I didn't forget my mom and dad. I owed everybody.
Wow.
And so I was like, you know what? I got to start, I got to pay everything off, and I got to go ahead and start giving back. And I couldn't do that when I was broke. Yeah. So, yeah.
And so when you started to give, obviously it was the giving that was the catalyst for everything. But did you start getting, did God start just downloading creative ideas and things into your spirit? And, I mean, what were some of the practical steps that you took during that time?
Well, one of the practical steps is that you have to give for something. So I learned that you don't just give and just to give. So you have to have a purpose behind it. That I was always taught in Malachi, the reason God was grieved is because the people didn't give. And I kept saying, well, that doesn't make any sense. God doesn't need our money. But what it was, he was grieved because he can't bless and prosper them because they didn't give. And so what I did is I wrote out a goal list of everything that I wanted to accomplish every year of my life till I was 120. And then I took the goal list, and on the corner of the checks, I would write on the corners of the check what I wanted God to go ahead and do to enrich my life and to bless other people. And then that's what I wrote. And every time I'd give a check, I would put it on that left corner off of my goal list, what I wanted to accomplish with God.
And so as you were writing those things, can you give us a little example of what was it that you were giving? Like, what were some of the things that you were wanting to do?
The fascinating thing is that you can't go ahead and understand this stuff because spirituality and faith is just something you can't go ahead and control. So on my checks, I wrote I wanted to go ahead and have new floors, new carpets, new doors, new door walls. I wanted to go ahead and have new siding, new roof, new gutters, new fencing, and I wanted a new driveway because everything was 30 to 40 years old. It's all dilapidated, falling apart. And I wrote them on there, and I said, well, this is stupid. I mean, how in the world can I get all the money to do this? Well, 3 years after I wrote the checks, a hailstorm came through my city, came out of a lake 1.5 miles from my house, witnesses watched it come out of the lake. Hailstorm hit my house head on, and the insurance went ahead and paid for every one of those things.
I mean, I'm just wow. I mean,
know, that's what I said. I was like, wow. I was like, that worked pretty good. So then I gave then I did other things, but everything that I've written on those checks, they all seem to come to pass. It's just like almost like on a magic pen or something. But it's more just that the key thing is to keep giving, and then it just seems to to work. And everything I've written on the checks, when I give, for example, I just bought a house about a month. Well, no, actually it was about it was last November, and I wrote on the check to go ahead and buy this house. And then I put the offer on and they said they took the offer, and then they said, well, wait a minute, we got a problem. I said, that doesn't make any sense to me. I went ahead and I wrote a check for $1,000 to my local church, and I went ahead and I'm like, okay, this ain't making sense, because it's always worked. So the deal almost was completely fell through. I looked at my checking account. I'm like, well, that's odd. They never went ahead and cashed a check. So I called the church up a week and a half later, and I said, why didn't you cash my check? And they said, because it said in the bottom left corner to go ahead and get the house of my dreams. And then I said, would you put it into your account? And I says, put it in toward the general fund. And then after they did it, the house went through. Is that like nuts?
I mean, that is an amazing story. That is absolutely amazing. And
it happens every time. That's why it's so wild.
Yeah. And so in those times, you gave your way out of challenges. You gave your way into something that God wanted to do in your life.
Absolutely. And I would not do one thing in anything I do, anything major in my life, I would not do it without giving a seed first. I think it goes back to the Old Testament where they gave a grain offering, a first fruits offering.
All right, wait a second. You need to say that again. You don't make any big decisions.
I would not do any decision in my life without giving first. And it's an Old Testament biblical practice where they didn't do anything unless they gave the offering first. So they gave like a grain offering, a first fruit offering, a bird offering. They had offerings for everything. And so I don't do anything without giving first. I don't do it. And then I put on the check what I want to occur. Just don't do it.
My goodness. That's super powerful.
I'll tell you another one, and this happened with Bob Harrison. This is when we were talking last year, is that I got audited by the state of Michigan and for $128,000. And we had a bad last quarter, and I said, well, I don't know how this is going to work. We don't have $128,000 in the bank right now. And I said, but I do have $10,000. So I gave a donation to Bob Harrison's ministry for $10,000. Within 7 days, the state of Michigan came back and wrote and changed it, and I owed zero.
That's amazing. Now, I want to just clarify one thing, and I know the answer to this, but I want you to say it for our listeners. When you're giving, you're not putting your faith in giving. You're putting your faith in God. That step of giving is
what it is I'm making a partnership with God.
Come on now, say that again.
It's a partnership. It's not me and God. It's us. It's the U.S. It's us. We're making a partnership. That's what it is. Yeah.
That is so powerful, because some folks have gotten so off track with that, where they say, have faith in your faith, have faith in your giving. But really, it's God that's doing all that through your steps of faith, right?
Absolutely, because everything that's occurred in my life is impossible. And everybody says, well, how did you do it? I said, it doesn't matter, because you couldn't do it ever again, because it doesn't make any sense. It's just the way it is. It even goes back to the first time I gave $1,000 on a credit card. I had $14,000 on a credit card. I had $1,000 left, and I listened to Mike Burdock, and he says, you have $1,000 on your credit card. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, but I can't even make the minimum payment anyway. So I did it. And within 30 days, I got a check back from the government for a tax refund, and it covered the credit card, all 15,000. And I'm like, wow, that works pretty good. So then I give another $1,000, and that kind of got me on my life of giving, because I found it always works.
Folks, this is Alan Asp. He's a businessman, he's an entrepreneur, and he's a giver. And believe it or not, that is a full call in the body for people to be givers. And man, Alan is a living example of that. Before we let you go today, Alan, could you just pray a prayer of blessing over folks right now? There's a lot of folks that have really needed what you had to say today, because they're in the middle of a hard time. They're in the middle of decreasing and things going backwards on them, and they're looking for this kind of encouragement today. Can you just pray that prayer over them real quick?
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai, Elohim Halakam. Dear God, I ask you go ahead and give them a special blessing of favor. You give them a favor, the same favor that I have. And Lord, that you give them an anointing upon them, that everything they do will prosper, and let it multiply tenfold. Amen.
Amen. Alan, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. We are just so grateful for our relationship with you, and the stories that you told today have just been so inspiring to us. I pray that you have a great rest of your day, and that you give your love to your wife and kids and your grandkids.
Excellent. Thank you. You too.
All right. That's Alan Asp, in spite of the hammering that's going on the roof right now from our roofers here at the hopefully by the time we get into the studio next week, we're going to be good to go, and everything will be done. If you'd like to follow along with Alan Asp, right there it is, alanasp.com. He's also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at author Alan Asp. All right, as we go to turn the corner for the podcast next week, Monday, I've got a missionary to Kenya. Vidar Lagarde is going to be with me on Monday, and he's got some incredible tales and stories of being out in the bush. And we're also going to be talking about his new book, and so you'll want to be here for us, excuse me, on Monday. Now, we have made a few changes, not just in the name, but all of our social media handles have changed as well. And if we could throw that up there on the screen, on all of the social media pages now, you can find us. That's not the right one, y'all. All the social media handles. There it is, at Expanding Search on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're already following us, we're still, you're already following us. But if we'd love for those of you who to subscribe or to follow us right there at Expanding Search. Find us on social media on all three of those. The website's going to be coming very soon. We'll let you know more about that as we can. Go on the YouTube page, hit the subscribe button so that you get a little, smash that bell down, and you'll get a little ding every time that we're going to be on or a new show is going to be on. Coming up this weekend at Direction Church, we're going to actually be continuing our series on the most spiritual thing you can do. And it's going to be really good. We're going to be talking about walking in love. And it's been great so far. We hope that you'll tune in and join us on that. We love you guys so much. We pray that you have a great weekend. Why don't you get outside and enjoy yourselves this weekend? Thanks for expanding your search and stopping for directions. God bless. Have a great day, everybody.